Dan the Natural Man Show. Okay, today I want to talk about something really important. It's going to be really important to the whole of mankind. Some of you probably don't know, and I'm not trying to scare anyone out there, but we are in the midst of an antibiotic resistant era, and it's getting worse. The bacteria and the viruses are communicating to each other on how to beat these antibiotics that the scientists are making. And it's to a point now to where when they make a new antibiotic, it only takes these bacteria 1 year to figure out how to be resistant to it. These pharmaceuticals have been overused, and we have created this antibiotic resistant era. We've done it through over prescribing antibiotics and putting the antibiotics into the farm animals, and then we eat those and we get antibiotics that way. The doctors give way too many antibiotics. We might get an antibiotic for a mouth infection that could be healed up with herbs. So what I want to talk about today is pharmaceuticals may be losing the war against bacteria and viruses, but our plant kingdom isn't. The problem with synthetic antibiotics is they are inorganic, they're dead. They're only a one-trick pony, so these viruses and bacteria can learn how to beat them. But our herbs are multifaceted, and these bacteria and these viruses cannot defeat our plant medicine. The plant medicine is too complex, and the plants can change tactics if they have to. The dead pharmaceutical antibiotics can't. They're dumb and deaf, basically. But the plants are living. And the plant I want to talk about in particular today goes by the name of Cryptolepis Sanguinolenta. This is an herb from Africa. It's indigenous to Africa. I learned about this herb only a few months ago from one of my studies, one of the books I was reading. As you can see, I found the root on Etsy and I tinctured it myself. Look at the color of this. It's beautiful. That's some beautiful herbal medicine right there. Now, this herb is very important because it is a herb that has effectiveness against antibiotic resistant infections. And so I'm going to give you a list of some infections that has been shown to have efficacy against, in case you or someone you know may run into a problem with these bugs and it doesn't respond to pharmaceuticals. It's been shown to be active against antibiotic resistant staph infections, which is a big deal because these staph infections are exploding now and they are resistant to most of the pharmaceuticals, but this herb, this beautiful herbal medicine, is effective against it. It's effective against malaria. It is effective against systemic infections, and this is important because some of our herbs don't work systemically. They might go to one area, say the colon, and they can clean infection there. But this herb is a systemic herb, which means it goes throughout the entire body, throughout the entire bloodstream, and gets to the infection, wherever the infection is. It's effective against MRSA, Streptococcus, Babesia, one of the co-infections of Lyme disease, Campylobacter is effective for urinary tract infections, tuberculosis, wound sepsis, Salmonella, Shigella, E. coli, Enterobactic, gonorrhea, and Pseudomonas. Now this herb works best against gram-positive bacteria, but it does have efficacy against some gram-negative. Studies have also shown that this herbal medicine is stronger than the antibiotic chloramphenicol. So I'll just give you a few of the recommendations from this author. If you have systemic staph infection, a systemic staph infection, you would take a half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon 3 times a day of this herb. But if it is a severe staph infection, you would take 3 tablespoons a day. And he recommends to not take this dose any longer than 60 days, but it should be cleared way before then. And if you're going to use a tea for an acute infection, you would drink 6 cups a day. Now, this herb is safe. A lot of people over in Africa and places use it as a tonic sometimes. That means they can use the herb daily for months and months. Now, the book goes on to list other herbs that can work in conjunction with Cryptolepis. Some herbs I recommend to work with Cryptolepis is lobelia. Lobelia is the thinking herb, which means lobelia is kind of like a leader herb. It kind of holds hands with any herb you take, and it guides it to the area of the body that needs the healing. So I would combine this with lobelia. And me, personally, the herbalist that I am, I personally believe no matter what kind of infection you have, you should always take raw garlic too. Raw garlic is a broad spectrum antibiotic, which means it's effective against gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. I would combine this Cryptolepis with lobelia and garlic and cayenne pepper, because remember what we said about cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper increases the circulation, so the herbs get to where they need faster. So there's if you don't want to make your own tincture, but it's really easy, I really encourage you guys to start making your own tinctures at home. I just got the root, put it in my blender, ground it up with my 100 proof vodka, let it sit for 2 weeks, strain it out. Look at this beautiful medicine I have. All of you can do this. You can be independent. You can learn how to take care of yourself, because you care the most about yourself, I can assure you. But if you don't want to make it, there's some tinctures on Amazon. I don't know how good they are, but if you type in Cryptolepis Sanguinolenta in Google, you can find some places who are selling it now. But if you want to get the root, I found it on Etsy, and the root's directly from Africa. They harvest it there and send it over. So mankind needs to think a lot about the era that's coming up, the antibiotic resistant era. And we need to start remembering that the herbal medicine is our original medicine. It is our most potent medicine. It is our most sure medicine. Pharmaceuticals, while they have their place, aren't the end-all be-all. As a matter of fact, they're doing a lot of damage. So I encourage everyone to start learning about herbal medicine. Become proficient with herbal medicine. Learn how to take care of yourself and your family. And remember, this herb, especially if you're dealing with a antibiotic-resistant infection. And until next time, keep it natural.